got? Tracy, by the way.
Tell me everything.
Okay, so this is Arya. This is a robotic AI. The way show. Focus on companionship. But we also got shoes for certain men. Say they're
I got a platform like one. Oh.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy and the Matrix. I am back on Angry Guy's channel. Thank you so much, Angry Guy, for letting me be here. I've been having a lot of fun making videos for Angry Guy. And in case you have not heard of Andy Matrix, I have two YouTube channels. One is called Andy Society, where I talk about economics and social issues. If you want to check that out, the link is in the description. My second channel is Andy Matrix Gaming. I talk about is basically about gaming news, anime, and Japanese culture. Go and check that out in the description below. Let's get on to the video. Okay, today we're going to be talking about how women are melting down over robots that could replace them. Yeah, it's a crazy topic, guys. Crazy topic. And also, before we continue, guys, make sure to check out Angry Guy on Rumble, right? YouTube is the censor station. So Rumble, there's a lot more freedom over there. Check out the link in the description. Also, if you want to learn how to buy, sell, trade, and make massive profits with crypto, then check out Angry's Crypto Academy. Link is also in the description. Now let's get to it and let's go to our first video. Here we go.
Hug you, but I think you would crush me.
There's an embedded micro camera behind your actual eyeball, which allows her to detect different products, images, items that you're holding in your hand. She can know the difference between a pen, pencil, piece of paper, and an apple.
I'm Melody, your friendly robot companion here at the Realbotics booth at CES 2025.
So this is her being surprised. You can see her eyes and her face. And this is her smiling. The one that everyone loves is her just being angry.
Hi, Melody. How long have you been working with Realbotics?
I've been around for a dazzling 5 years. Just enough time to perfect my charming personality.
So the best part about our technology is that in 30 seconds, we can swap this face out and put a new one. That changes the way she talks, her interaction, everything.
And looks pretty good.
Yeah, man, that is crazy. That is crazy scary. I mean, within like 10, 20 years, or maybe even less, because technology moves so fast nowadays, you never know. But I give it like about 15, 20 years, man. This technology is going to be so realistic, and a lot of females are scared, like, oh, the men are just going to choose this over a real woman. Well, yeah, if you've seen the way things are turning out, especially in first world countries. Yeah, man. So this is replacement, and I'm not the type to I'm not saying that I'm gonna buy one of these, but I'm not. I like the real thing, but there's gonna be a lot of dudes out there that they're just, after being treated and being abandoned by society, they're just gonna settle for this, man.
New robot wife.
Let me just show you this advertisement I stumbled upon. And guess how it's being marketed? Not as somebody who's going to help with actual useful things that people need in life, like laundry, cooking, cleaning, making,
But here's the thing, a lot of women don't do that nowadays. Like, seriously, they don't do that anymore.
lunches for the kids, like things that maybe a robot would be helpful for. Here we have it. Elon Musk and his company are in the final stages of making a robot wife. The supply of robot wives is expected to roll out in September 2023. They will reach Africa by November 2023. Look at some of these images here. It's kind of strange that he's kissing all of them, because doesn't he have a wife in real life? I mean, maybe she's down with it. Interestingly, the batteries will last a full menstrual cycle and then just need 3 days of charging, like an actual, period. And that you need a password or fingerprint to have intimacy with your robot. Because obviously that's what most people are going to be concerned about. And it's only $3,144, which is a lot cheaper than a real wife. So I want to know, who's going to order a robot wife?
Yeah, who's gonna order a robot wife? There's many people, many men out there will. I mean, she's talking about Elon kissing a robot, but Elon got screwed over by all his wives, by Amber Heard and all the other chicks that they were married, you know, he went through divorces. I think he has like 7 kids now. I forgot, man. But yeah, man. And look, man, I'm not saying that this is like a healthy thing to do, but it's just something that's going to happen. A lot of dudes are just gonna go for robot chicks because, just the dudes that get abandoned by society. So, and I think there also is like a male robot version. All right, so this video is kind of scary. The way they were moving is very like zombie-like. I did not like this one. I did not like this one whatsoever, man. But I mean, look at the way robots interact in this video. Check this out.
What do you got, Tracy? By the way,
Tell me everything.
okay. So this is Arya. This is a robotic AI waist up. Focused on companionship. But we also look at it too is for certain men, say they're very business savvy. They travel 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
But they got a nice little place over in New York, and they don't like the dating game. Yet they want somebody to talk to when they come home after the travel societies. This that's it.
So I got a platform like when. Hey, I'm married, man.
Okay, you saw that? You saw that, right? You saw how she just went and tried to touch the guy. So the technology is getting there where like the robots can like really think for themselves, which is really scary. It's very dystopian, very movie-like. You know, you've seen those sci-fi movies where the robots go crazy. Yeah, we're getting there. It's not gonna be long, and it's gonna get really ugly, guys, man. It's gonna get really, really ugly. And man, I don't know what's gonna happen to humanity when this happens within the next, 2 decades. It's only gonna take 2 decades, honestly. I think it's gonna be very scary. Population's gonna go down. Everybody's just gonna be dating robots everywhere, and and dudes are not gonna feel the same about females. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, this is
stock prices of.
Hold on a second.
In China, AI-powered dolls nicknamed China dolls have surged in popularity, boosting stock prices of companies across the entire supply chain, from materials to AI to manufacturing.
做我女朋友好不好？
These dolls now feature highly realistic bodies and are integrated with large AI models that enable them to simulate emotions, remember conversations, and adopt multiple personalities, making them more appealing than ever.
舒服吗？舒服。
This shift is reshaping personal relationships and also challenging traditional norms around dating, marriage, and emotional connection, especially in Japan and urban China, where high costs and societal pressures make human relationships increasingly burdensome. AI companions offer a low-cost, generally emotionally satisfying alternative to human relationships, but can it really replace genuine human connections? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Robots hit the store. Yeah, if y'all can save up enough for a female robot, maybe y'all won't be dusty no more. You could save up for their maintenance, their updates, their cleaning fees. Maybe it'll give you something to thrive for and get yourselves together mentally. You can't save up for a real woman, save up for a fake one. It's practice. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah. And if you never can figure out how to get past the practice model, then maybe that's all you need. All right, said they're gonna kill that robot. maybe some men aren't equipped for real women. Maybe they just need the robot in practice version.
Okay, yeah, I really like how she said maybe some men are not equipped for real women. Well, maybe most women are not equipped to be wives. How does that sound? And it's like she's basically saying that you cannot have a wife or girlfriend unless if you're broke. If you're broke, you can't have a wife or girlfriend. That's what she's saying. That's what she's saying. In order to date, you need money. It didn't used to be like that, It didn't used to be like that. But it basically proves that, relationships are basically just they're monetized. They're basically monetized. Right? So, and also because a lot of these females, they want to be taken care of, right? So that's why they go for the top guys, the top 10% of men. You know that story. Right? So who are they going to go for when because even rich guys are going for this. Yeah, even rich guys are going for this. And these rich dudes, they have the money to custom make one of these female robots. Custom make. I want you to think about that. So it's like, they don't really think about the future, you know. But you know what you should be investing in the future as we're going into this, robot AI dystopia. You should be investing into crypto. Crypto is the future, you know, cryptocurrency. It's going to take over. It's going to be the new money. This is the new gold rush. So go ahead and check out Angry Guys Crypto Academy, guys.
Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
Now, let's move on with the show.
Now, Elon. This is what I be talking about. This. Can't even keep that picture up for long like that because it's going to wear me out sitting here looking at it. Now, I have so much to say about this. Elon decides that he wants to invite his robot, whatever you want to call it, girlfriend on the date. Let that sit there. You haven't heard, Elon announces his first girlfriend with artificial intelligence, said that he invited her out for dinner and that he enjoyed the experience. He also said that he enjoyed the experience with calling her smart, beautiful, and obedient. Not go wear me out.
Look at you saw the jealousy? You saw the anger and the jealousy right there, guys? Oh my goodness.
And y'all not about to push this on me. Y'all not about to push this on me because then it makes me feel like I'm a part of the basket case industry. I'm not a part of the basket case industry. I'm not a part of any of this. I'm not a part of this. I'm not. Lord, I'm not a part of this. They did this. I ain't got nothing to do with this. The reason why I have an issue with this is because God is the creator of mankind. He is the creator of all things. We are getting to a place where we are trying to idol worship. We are trying to replace God's job. We want to create minds, just like he stated she was obedient. I'm sorry, this is blowing me. You mean to tell me you all the way went on a date with a computer system, okay? Let's call it a computer system, and you had conversation with a computer system that you programmed, or whoever programmed. But whoever programmed them, you was telling them what you want to program, right? In which you have to understand artificial intelligence should not have any type of emotions. It shouldn't be nothing emotional because that's the job of a human. See, me even having this conversation is irritate me. I'm not gonna say any more on this because this will be a whole deep conversational piece. But if y'all don't think this is red flaggy, if you don't think this is weird activity, if you think this is normal and you want to normalize that, then I'm questioning you right here. Basket cases. I'm questioning you with the basket cases, okay?
Okay, let me stop her right there. Okay, so she's complaining about Elon creating an AI girlfriend. And look, I agree with her in the sense that, God created male and female. That's how it's supposed to be, right? That's how it's supposed to be. I don't like the idea of people, dating robots, basically dating, a piece of metal in a computer. I mean, it just sounds silly, right? But it's happening. And the reason why it's happening is because, because men know what they're supposed to do. Most men know what they're supposed to do. They know what their job is. They know that they're supposed to be leaders. They know that they're supposed to lead the relationship, right? We know. I mean, but a lot of us kind of lost that, in the last 3-4 decades, due to a lot of political movements. So when you tell a female, right, she's talking about God the creator, Yahweh, right, Jesus Christ. She's talking about God being the creator, how this is not how AI robots is not normal, but God put men in charge and women are supposed to follow. The problem is that we have so many rebellious women that they don't want to listen to men. They don't want to listen to men. They want to be the man. So, and if you tell them this truth, right? If you tell them this truth, they get upset. They don't want to face the truth. This is what the woman is. You guys know what I'm talking. I don't want to say the F word, right? Womanism. You know what I'm talking about. They will never admit it. They will never admit it, the damage that movement has done. Very few women will admit it. And it has led to here. And that type of movement has led to, just women deciding instead of like getting into a relationship with a man, they just decided, you know what, screw this. I'm going to be my own man, essentially. Right? And now everything's kind of like blowing up, especially with the economy, going down. Now everything's blowing up in their faces and they're like, oh, I want a relationship now. It all comes back. Mother Nature always wins.
That went viral like 2 days ago about humanoid AI robot girlfriends. I don't know if you guys saw this on Instagram and TikTok, but there are companies making robots that look like humans that are programmed by AI and they can talk to you. And it's very freakishly real. And they're selling them mostly to young men as AI girlfriends. And this has already been a thing in the market without the body.
Like robots,
I was gonna say this,
or like just on the
without
screen?
the robots, it's already been a thing. This has been a very lucrative business for the last several years.
That's going to be
And
a
so we've
problem,
covered
especially
this.
for men that don't know how to speak to girls.
It's further isolating them, right? It's
Yeah.
further removing them from our shared humanity, which we need to survive.
Also, it's like the compromising goes away. We're like super lucky, but we're very united on a lot of things. But normally people would have to like, all right, well, she likes to do this, and well, so I'll do it because I love her. That will go out the window because you're like, my AI doesn't like to do that.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
likes to do exactly what I like
Well,
to
you
do.
could just reprogram her, right? Which
But you can
guys
reprogram her too, just like a little quick.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, so this topic is definitely going viral. It's been a talking point for like the past 2 years. Now, it hasn't reached mainstream media yet. Like the media, they haven't been like really like talking about it. It has come up here and there. But yeah, it's just that and this is mainly happening. See, the countries that are having the population issues are first world countries. Countries that have high tech, like China. China is high tech. Modern day China is high tech. America, Canada, the UK, right? I don't hear much of that in France, right? In Eastern Europe, they seem to be doing fine. Latin America, they're always making babies. Down there in Latin America, they're always making babies. However, in Spain, which is a little more advanced, they're struggling. Japan is struggling. Japan and Korea, they're high tech. They're struggling. right? So men and women don't get along anymore. So now dudes are like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna, just gonna date one of these robots. I don't really support that, but it's happening, dudes.
Robot is taking a radical approach to mass producing its lifelike, emotionally intelligent androids. The attention the startup is getting now is the result of years of work that started long before the current humanoid robotics craze took off. Robot was founded in 2013 in the port city of Dalian, in northeast China's Liaoning province by a team of engineers led by Li Boying. The company started developing android prototypes around 2016, emphasizing hyper-realistic appearance and AI-driven interaction over mobility. At the time, a race toward creating lifelike synthetic humans was quietly emerging, with competitors including Hanson Robotics, Engineered Arts, and Railbotics. For the most part, however, humanoid robotics was confined to R&D projects within institutions like Honda, Boston Dynamics, and Toyota. Robot focused on upper body motion to replicate human facial expressions and arm movements. The startup set an early strategic goal to apply its robots in the service industry, envisioning them as receptionists, guides, entertainers, and caregivers. The robots use 3D printed silicone skin, flexible joints, and micromotor actuators to simulate human expressions and movements. They have more than 140 degrees of freedom with about 25 micromotor actuators in the head to control nuanced facial expressions. They can feature dexterous hands with multimodal sensing for performing fine actions. The androids can recognize human emotions and intent and maintain eye contact. The half-body service robot with interactive AI is priced around $110,000 and is tailored for roles like corporate greeters and museum guides. Higher-end bespoke models are priced starting at around $210,000. Recreating famous figures has proven effective as a marketing strategy to draw public interest and reduce the novelty barrier. Robot says its lifelike creations are used in science and tech museums across China. The company opened its own museum in Dalian in 2021. At the Future Science and Technology Museum, visitors can interact face-to-face with more than 30 robots. A cornerstone of Robot's near-future vision is the aggressive expansion of its offline experience centers. By late 2024, Robot had already opened 2 facilities in Dalian and Shenyang and was in advanced talks with more than 20 other cities for new sites. The company says the existing facilities are already generating substantial revenue and should recoup costs in 3 to 5 years. Technologically, Robot is working to make its androids more human-like and functional. Mobility is also likely to become more of a priority. In the meantime, the company is apparently expanding its scope to the animal kingdom, as shown in this recent Instagram.
Wait, they're also making androids like animal robots? What the heck? They're making animal robots. I did not know that. Oh, everything's going to be robotic in the future. But yeah, and another thing that people don't understand is that a lot of these projects are being funded by the big dogs. I'm talking about Bill Gates. I'm talking about, Elon Musk is in it. I'm not sure if Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, there's a lot of rich people investing into this. They want this to happen. They want the robots to come. The same way that AI was taking people's jobs. This AI and robots, they're going to be replacing relationships too. And I think some of you are talking about oh, well, I guess nobody's going to be having babies. Well, now they're also creating artificial wombs, right? Artificial wombs where they can produce a human being the same way that a woman can produce a human being in her womb, right? But it's an artificial womb, right? I don't know what that's going to turn into with people, but... And I imagine they're going to take those artificial wombs and attach it to the robots. So then you just have a robot that can give birth. It is crazy. I mean, it is... Man, it's... The science is here, guys. It's only going to take another decade or 2 for things to really kick off into hyperdrive. Man. This is... this is getting scary. It's getting scary. This thing, and now with animals, they're trying to create animal robotics. Good guy.
Robot girlfriends for $175,000. I can already see people buying these who have a lot of money, or people are going to go into debt buying a robot AI girlfriend. I mean, that's a lot of money for a robot. Yes, it looks lifelike, but $175,000, that is a brand new car paid off completely and a down payment on a house almost half paid off. But I mean, I understand people like Elon Musk who have a crap ton of money can spend, this, and it would be nothing. But $175,000. But it is an AI robot, and we did predict in the future that robots will be taken over, and you know what? Can't really say it because it's on TikTok, but $175K for a robot girlfriend, would you actually pay that much? I mean, how sad can you be to buy an AI robot girlfriend? Like, let me know in the comments if you actually had the money. Would you actually buy this?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people that do, but I wouldn't. I mean, it's a freaking house loan. And with inflation in the future, I mean, I think a lot of people probably going to be able to afford that, in my opinion. All right, I think they'll be able to afford it. But I do imagine a lot of people just taking out loans for it. I mean, I do imagine a lot of people taking it for it, but the price is going to come down. Right now, it's $170,000. It's going to come down. There's going to be the robots that are like $10,000, $15,000. The Tesla robots, they're $20,000 each. With these female robots, they're going to cost much less money. Like, once they mass produce these, they're going to be selling them like close to 10,000, maybe a little less. There's going to be many, many, many people that will be able to afford it around the world too. Around the world. All right, let's check out our final video.
World. It's such an
Hold on.
movie iRobot is looking to be. It's eerily accurate as to how close it is to what's happening in today's world. It's such an underrated movie. I was watching it a couple nights ago and it reminded me to kind of make this little series where we talk about robotics in the next 10 years. Because iRobot takes place in 2035. And the first thing you see are robots that are delivering packages, walking dogs, or, taking out the trash or doing garbage. The robots are doing simple tasks that humans don't want to do. In fact, there's many of them walking around alongside the humans. Also, all the cars are self-driving. It's very accurate. And there's no flying cars, which is also good to see. And the vibe you get in the beginning is that the robots are very happy, and the people love the robots. They're very accepting of the robots and on technology in general. And the robots themselves are hardwired with laws in them, logical laws that they must abide, right? Don't injure anybody and obey a human as long as it doesn't, conflict with the first law. So there's this aura of trust in the public that people have, gained by implementing these laws and safety protocols in these robots. But the downside to that is that nobody ever thought that the robots would ever do harm to them. And this is what the movie explores. Now, in the movie, there are millions of robots, and they do lots of things and lots of tasks. And there's a new update of robots called NS5s that were going to be implemented to the public. They're going to be more sophisticated than the previous generation. But the coders behind the robots, they recognize that there's something called ghosts in these machines. There's like these random segments of code that give rise to some weird behaviors in the robots. Like they start to become creative. They start displaying signs of consciousness. In one of the parts of the movie, Will Smith's character gets knocked down by one of the robots, and the robot says, "What am I?" The engineers are beginning to recognize that robots, they don't stand alone in their empty space or cold, dark space. They kind of huddle together like humans do, right? So they're noticing that the robots are becoming more human-like. So it's like, it raises the question, at what point does a neural network or, lines of code or a logical framework, when does that become consciousness? When's that point? And when do ethics comes into the picture? Shouldn't robots be ethical and have some kind of sense of empathy for humans? And this was perfectly highlighted by a story of Will Smith's character. He was in a car accident with another lady, a young lady, and the robot was going to save them, but the robot picked to save Will Smith over the young girl. And the reason why is because the robot did a logical assessment and said Will Smith had a 45% chance of survival, but the girl only had 11% chance. And after that moment, Will Smith's character was just so mad at the robots, and he kind of was so just superstitious of their existence. He didn't like them. He was uncomfortable with them for that reason, because they didn't have that empathy like humans did.
I'm gonna stop the video right there. Yeah, that's it. Nobody really thinks about once the robots start walking around the streets. A lot of people are just gonna be like, "Oh, I guess they're gonna be working for us now." A lot of people are not gonna think about, "Oh, well, the robots could probably harm us," right? Especially the new generation, Gen Z and Gen Alpha and Gen Beta, I think it's called, the next one. Right? They're not gonna, they're not really gonna be familiar with the idea of that robots harming people, unless they watch Terminator and iRobot. But the iRobot movie, you know, when you watch these movies, you go back and watch them, you see what's happening now. You start to think, how did the creators, how did the writers, how did the authors how did they knew that this was going to happen? Right? If you guys ever read the book Ready Player One, the author Ernest Cline, I think it's called Ernest Cline. He's a nerd, right? Ready Player One. In 2020, after 2020, when he saw everything that started to happen in the world, in the country, with the lockdowns and everything that was happening, he got scared, right? Because he said, you know what? When I wrote Ready Player One, I never, ever, ever imagined that these things would happen, right? But now, here we are. Here we are. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure to comment below. Tell me what you think. Make sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications, guys. It's your boy and the Matrix. Godspeed and God bless everybody.